everyone, and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin, and today we're going to start the final box of the Saga campaign, the Mountain of Fire. Oh, I still kind of can't believe that. We're going to be doing Quest 16, the Tower of Cirith Ungol, which I believe is right here on the map, and then we'll do the Black Gates and Mount Doom together as an epic playthrough, hopefully. Hopefully I can do that. So right now, Frodo is up on this tower. He's been captured. Sam thought he was dead and realized that he wasn't dead, so he's going to go and try and save him. And as you can see, the Black Gates are up here. That's where Aragorn is going to march the Gondorians, the Rohirrim, all the way up to here and try and distract the eye to look this way while Frodo and Sam climb up Mount Doom and toss that ring in the fire. Really quickly, I just wanted to show you where we are in the scenario. Look at all of these that we've completed. So this was set up to do 18 total quests, but that's because we didn't have the 2 print-on-demands when they came out with this. So we'll go a little bit over this, but we'll still be able to calculate our total campaign score, assuming we can win. While Aragorn raced across southern Gondor towards the port of Pelargir, the twisted creature Gollum led Frodo and Sam into Shelob's lair as part of his plan to recapture his precious. But Gollum greatly misjudged the strength of Sam's desperate courage. The giant spider Shelob was mortally wounded when it cast itself upon the hobbit's elven dagger, and Gollum was driven off empty-handed. Yet, Gollum's betrayal still came at a heavy price. Frodo was stung with Shelob's poison, and Sam, believing himself to be the last surviving member of the Fellowship of the Ring, took the burden upon himself to continue the quest of Mount Doom alone. He had not gone far, however, when a troop of orcs discovered Frodo's body, and he overheard surprising news. Frodo was indeed not dead. The sting that poisoned him would eventually wear off, but when he awoke, he would find himself captives of the orcs. Horrified by this revelation, Sam determined to rescue his master and follow the orcs to the Tower of Cirith Ungol. When he reached the outer wall, he was surprised to hear the sounds of fighting inside. It seemed that the orcs were quarreling over what to do with their captive. Encouraged by this new twist, Sam plucked up the courage to enter the fortress alone. But first, he would have to get past the Silent Guardians. We have our setup here. Each player may change heroes he controls without incurring the +1 threat penalty. Attach a heavy burden to the hero with the last of the company attached. Each player chooses an item boon, excluding Andril, from the campaign pool and sets it aside out of play. Remove each burden with the following burden set icons from the encounter deck. So let's do these in order. First, we have to place the heavy burden on whoever takes the last of the company card, and this is whoever is essentially going to hold the ring. And we've got to have Sam do that, because come on, we have Sam in this quest. So Sam will be the last of the company, and we're going to drop the heavy burden on him. We each then have to grab an item boon, and we have to remove them from the game. So I have a mithril shirt and the Lorien rope. Both of those have been taken by Shagrat, and we're only going to get them back if we can kill him. Here we have all of our other burdens. Don't you just love it? The big one, Gandalf Delay, will only draw 5 cards to start the game. We need to set Shagrat aside out of play. Add the 2 Watchers, the location side face up, and the topmost chamber to the staging area. The first player loses control of the ring bear, which is Frodo, and places it face up under the topmost chamber as a guarded objective. Then the first player attaches the last of the company to a hero he controls, and attaches the 1 ring to that hero. So Sam has that. Here we have our 2 locations for this quest. They're both immune to player card effects. The 2 Watchers, which, by the way, I love the art. X is twice the stage number of the main quest. So the main quest, we're going to be at stage 1. So I believe that's 2. After the players travel here, flip the Watcher to its enemy side and move it to the staging area. And then over here, we have the topmost chamber. Immune to player card effects. The players cannot travel here unless there's at least 18 progress on stage 2B. In order to travel there, we have to put Shagrat into the staging area. We have here each non-unique location gets -1 threat and cannot leave the staging area. While the 2 Watchers is in the staging area, enemy side face up, it is considered to be engaged with each player. The stage cannot be defeated while the 2 Watchers is in play. So we have to flip them to the enemy side and then defeat them on the enemy side, and then we can move from here. I realized I forgot to flip this card over. It states that when the players advance to stage 3A, attach a heavy burden to the ring bearer. I'm assuming that's when we find Frodo. Attach each set aside item boon to Shagrat as a guarded objective. When Shagrat is defeated, return each guarded boon to its owner's hand. If Shagrat is in play, remove each item boon attached to it from the campaign pool. Let's go ahead and draw our starting hands. First things first, our threat is at 31. Remember, we have the +2 threat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is for our Ranger deck. And we have, wow, we have a sneak attack. We have Steward of Gondor. Oh, yes. And my hands upon a bow. It's hard to say no to this hand. This hand looks great. Here we have Merry, Sam, and Pippin. Our threat is at 22. Normally it'd be at 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to draw our 5 cards. And we've got a Master of the Forge. Oh, the Shire folks. This is a new card I put in here. By the way, it just takes an action, and we reduce our threat by 4. An Unexpected Courage and a Song of Wisdom. It's good, but it's not great. I've really tried to make this deck focusing on getting Rosie out, so let's go ahead and mulligan. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll go ahead and flip these. Okay, we've got a Test of Will, a Fast Hitch. We have Arwen. We have our Sword Thane. Oh, okay. And this is good to mention. We do have Frodo's Intuition, but we just have to pay this ring resource, and while Sam has the ring, his resources are considered ring resources as well. So we can still use that card, but this time I'm going to remember it costs 2 to play it, not 1. Let's start that first round and draw our cards. We have Gandalf, and we have a Master of the Forge. For our first round, for our Ranger deck, I don't think there's anything that we're going to play. There's no enemies out. I don't have 2 purple resources so that I can play my Steward of Gondor. So I think I'm just going to hold. I could, on our Hobbit side, play maybe our Fast Hitch. Yeah, that's really it. When you have tri-spheres of resources, sometimes it's hard to get something out that first round. So we're really just going to try and use our heroes here to quest successfully. Unfortunately, because Sam is carrying his heavy burden, we are going to have to increase our threats by 1, so 23 and 32. Otherwise, we would have to exhaust Sam because, you know, that ring is heavy, especially because he's so close to Mordor right now. So now let's go ahead and quest, and I think we've got a quest out on this side. We're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 2 more from Eladin. That's 9. Currently, there is 3 total threat in the staging area. We'll start by drawing our first encounter card, and we have the Wounded Uruk. The Wounded Uruk enters play with 2 damage on it. Interesting. So we'll pop 2 on him. After Wounded Uruk engages you, it gets +2 attack till the end of the round. Okay, he's not going to be fun. That's going to be a 5 attacker. And then our second card we have is Doomed 1 and Surge. So let's first do our Doomed 1. We'll move up to 33 and 24 for our Hobbit deck. And then it says each enemy engaged with a player. Yeah, there's no enemies engaged, so we can discard that. But that will surge into Doom 2. Oh my gosh, 34, 35. We're already at 35 threat over here. And we'll go to 26 for our Hobbit deck. Each player must choose either discard your hand with at least 3 cards in it or reveal an encounter card. Or we're just going to go ahead and use one of these Test of Wills. That is a horrendous card. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get rid of that. We added 2 more threat to the staging area, so it's 5 to our 9. So we still quested successfully. Now the question becomes, do I want to do it? I can attack with Legolas for a total of 4, and I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my hands upon the bow. I'm going to spend Legolas's resource. That says exhaust a character you control with range to immediately declare it as an attacker, and he gets +1 to his attack. So he's attacking for 4. This guy has 2 armor, plus 2 more health. He's gone. That at least gets rid of him. But then Legolas is exhausted. And we technically could have done that at the end of the quest phase, but it didn't really matter because there's no progress that we can place on here. And from what I'm understanding, it states here it cannot leave the staging area, so I don't think it's worth traveling to any non-unique location because we won't be able to get rid of it anyways. So now the question is, are we ready to flip this right now into an enemy or not? Looking at our board state, I'm going to say not. We each didn't even play anything. We've used 1 resource each. I'm going to go ahead and leave both of these in the staging area. I can't even travel to this one. Let's just go ahead and move to the next round. We'll increase threats, so we'll go to 36 already for the Ranger deck, and we'll go to 27 for our Hobbit deck. We'll generate resources, we'll move the first player token over to the Hobbit deck, and we get another sneak attack and a Song of Wisdom. To start off this round, I think it makes sense to play Sam's Intuition, because Frodo isn't here, so we're going to call it Sam's Intuition. We're going to spend his 2 resources. That's going to give +1 willpower for each of them, and we get to draw 3 cards. We get, oh yes, we get Sting, and we get a Rosie. Oh, that's really awesome. Oh, and you guys, this is a new card. We have the Red Book of Westmarch. Attached to a Hobbit hero restricted. While the attached hero is committed to the quest, each Hobbit character gets +1 willpower. So cool. Oh yeah, and after you quest successfully, exhaust this to gain a resource. I personally feel like it makes the most sense to then play Sting right out on Sam. We'll spend 2 of the Pippin resources to do that. He'll get +1 of everything. Our Ranger deck will go ahead and spend those 2 resources and immediately exhaust Steward of Gondor to gain those 2 resources back. And then let's see, I don't think we have, I mean, look at this. We don't have much else we can do. 2 sneak attacks, 2 Gandalfs, and the Ancestral Armor. Yeah, that's all we're going to do. We still have that 3 threat in the staging area. I think it's going to be needed. I'm going to increase threats by 1 each so we can keep Sam from being exhausted. Then let's go ahead and quest. We'll do the same thing we did last time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 2 from Eladin. That's a total of 10. Our first card here will be for the Hobbit deck. And we have no Fear of Discovery, Surge. This is thematic and terrible. The first player must either exhaust the Ring Bearer, which he's already exhausted, so we can't do that, or we draw an additional encounter card. So we're going to draw 2 more cards for this one. So the first one is just a Saga Archer. After Saga Archer engages you, deal 2 damage to a character you control. Wow. And he'll come in with Archery 2. And then let's go ahead and draw our second one for that. We have our Torchlit Hall, which is only -1. After players travel here, we can read what it does when we travel there. And then this one is for the Ranger deck. And we have the Bloodied Courtyard. That's 2 threat. While it's the active location, it's not the active location yet. Our total threat in the staging area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to our 10. We still quested successfully. Thank goodness. But yeah, I've got to start dealing with these locations. I think that means we're going to have to go ahead and travel to the 2 towers, or the 2 watchers, and it's going to flip. Unfortunately, the 2 watchers is immune to player card effects and cannot be optionally engaged. When the 2 watchers deals any amount of damage, cancel the damage and raise the defending player's threat by X, where X is the amount of damage just canceled. Ugh. Don't forget that while the watchers is in the staging area, enemy side face up, it is considered to be engaged with both players. Well, this is going to be a little bit unorthodox, but you got to do what you got to do. What I'm going to do during the encounter phase is I'm actually going to have this Archer optionally engage our Hobbit deck. That means Sam will ready because the engagement cost is 44 plus 3, so it's a 47, and their threat is only 28. We are, though, since we engaged that Saga Archer, have to deal 2 damage to one of our characters that are in play. Well, we only have our 3 hobbits, so Sam's going to take 2 damage. Remember, though, he has +2 hit points, so he has a total of 5. Moving into that combat phase, we're going to have to soak the 2 archery. Legolas will go ahead and take that. And then let's go ahead and deal out shadow cards. We're going to have 2 for each of the enemies, starting over with the Hobbit deck side, since the Hobbit deck is first player. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to sneak in Gandalf. We'll spend 1 resource. We're going to sneak Gandalf in, and Gandalf's going to come to our aid. When he enters play, we can deal 4 damage to 1 enemy. That 4 damage we'll use to take out this Saga Archer, so we'll just remove this and the shadow card from the board. Then we're going to have the 2 watchers here attack for 5 on the Hobbit deck. The attack is for 5, and Sam will exhaust to defend. His defense is 1, 2, plus he'd readied, so that's 3. And let's see, does he get a shadow effect? No. So he normally would take 2 points of damage, but how the 2 watchers works is you actually take it as threat. So we're going to move all the way up to 30 total threat, which is kind of a lot. Then over here on the Ranger side, the 2 watchers will go ahead and attack. We'll exhaust Elry here, and then we have to decide if we're going to pay the resource to ready him. I don't think there's a lot of make additional attacks on this one, so I'm gonna take the chance. If nothing else, I can have Gandalf defend. So he's getting attacked for 5. We have 3 defense. Let's see. The attacking enemy gets +1 attack, +2 instead of the character's damaged. Oh, good thing he's not damaged. So he's attacking for 6. That means Elra here takes 3 damage. He has 1 health away from getting killed. Now, the good thing is, though, we have Legolas ready, and we have Gandalf. 4 + 3 is 7. We need to do 4 + 2 to take it out, and we can certainly do that. So, oh, and I actually shouldn't take damage from that. Oh, thank goodness. That's the one good thing. We're going to take it as threat instead. So we're going to move ourselves up all the way to 40 threat, because when he attacks, he does not deal damage. Okay, but then we are doing 4 + 3 is 7. He has 4 + 2 for a total of 6 that we need to defeat. We just defeated him. We now have Fighting in the Tower. When revealed, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, and discard cards from the top until X enemies are discarded, where X is the number of players in the game. Add each enemy discarded by this effect to the staging area. We've shuffled up. Let's go ahead and discard cards until we get... Okay, here's our first one. We have our Wounded Uruk, and that will come into play with 2 damage on it. That's our first one. Okay, here's our second one. We have our Orc of Mordor. After the Orc of Mordor engages you, exhaust a character you control. We have here, at the beginning of the quest phase, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. If there's a copy of that enemy in the staging area, discard that copy as well. If there's not, add the discarded enemy to the staging area. Oh, I hate these luck ones. You never know. The stage cannot be defeated unless the topmost chamber is in the victory display. When the ring bearer is free of encounters, the first player gains control of it. We'll end the round, and Gandalf will come back into our hand. Yeah, the next time we bring him out, we're probably going to have to reduce our threat, because we're going to go to 41 on our Ranger deck and 31 for our Hobbit deck. Let's draw our cards. We have an Ancestral Armor, and we have Fireside Song. To start this round, for our Ranger deck, we're going to exhaust our Steward of Gondor and generate 2 more resources. Now, I could I could play or pay for my Ancestral Armor, but then I have no resources to sneak in Gandalf again. Or I could hard cast Gandalf this round. You know, I might hard cast him in. I've got enough other resources and nothing to do with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll use all 5 of these. And let's hard cast Gandalf into play. And I do think I'm going to do where I can reduce my threat by 5. So I'll go down to 36 because I'm a little worried. Otherwise, I might have some problems with that. On this side of the board, I think the only thing we're going to do is play Arwen. She's going to allow us to gain +1 in Sentinel for Elra here, which will be totally helpful so we don't die if we have to engage any enemies. And hey, it's 2 more questing. Moving to that quest phase, let's go ahead and discard cards from here until we find an enemy. My goodness. Okay, we have an Orc of Mordor. Beautiful! We have an Orc of Mordor in the staging area. They will both get discarded. Well, that's one nice thing. We have a total of 8 threat in the staging area. Let's see how much we can quest for. We'll do 2, and we'll drop this onto Elra here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh boy, I think we're going to need to do Eladin for 12. I'm keeping Gandalf for some attacking, I think. So it's only 8 to 12. Yeah. Our first one is, Gorbag. It cannot have attachments. After he engages you, he makes an immediate attack, and he's a 36. And then we have our Torchlit Hall, and after players travel there, we can read what it says if we decide to travel there. Well, looking here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total threat in the staging area, and we quested for 12. So that means we did not quest successfully. We'll go to 37 and 32 threat. Moving to that travel phase, we could travel to the topmost chamber. I'm not ready. So let's go ahead and read some of these so I know what they do. Oh, these 2 are the same. So they have, after the players travel here, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. If there's a copy of that enemy in the staging area, discard that copy as well. Otherwise, you just add it. Or this one, while the Bloodstained Courtyard is the active location, after an enemy enters the staging area, deal 1 damage to it. Raise each player's threat by 1 to travel here. This sounds terrible, but I don't want to add another enemy right now. So we're going to go to 38, and 33. It's the whole reason why I brought Gandalf out, to reduce our threat. And we're going to travel here. And the nice thing is, any enemies that come out next round, they will come in with 1 damage on them. So the one nice thing is our Hobbit deck's total threat is only 33. So neither of these would engage them, and I don't think I want either of them to engage them. What I'm going to do is, because we're at 38, we are going to have the Wounded Uruk engage us, because even adding 3 to the total engagement cost of 34, he's still going to engage us. So we'll optionally engage him, and then Gorbag will engage us, and he'll make an immediate attack on us. Moving into that combat phase, let's go ahead and grab our shadow cards. We'll start with Gorbag. Gorbag is attacking for a total of 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 defense here. We'll exhaust Eldra here to defend, and then spend a resource to ready him. And then what do we get for our shadow card? If you are engaged with another enemy, resolve this attack against that enemy. Seriously? That is really cool. So he's going to attack for 4. He's going to attack for 4, and he's going to take out this Wounded Uruk. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. And yeah, he would have attacked for +1, it looks like. Oh, thank you, Gorbag. So that resolves that guy's attack. So now it's just Gorbag. He is a total of 5, 6, 7, 8. We actually have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's take him out. He's a victory, what is that, a victory 3 card, so he'll get removed. We just totally took out Gorbag, all because he took out his own friend. Well, I guess they weren't friends. And now, since we did defeat an enemy with Legolas, we can place 2 progress on that location, because I am going to remember that. So 2 out of the 4 that we need. At the end of the round, though, Gandalf is gone. Let's go ahead and increase threats. 39 for our Ranger deck, 34 for our Hobbit deck. Geez, they're at 34. We have Rivendell Blade and Song of Hope. And first player will go back over to the Hobbit deck. To start off this round, we're going to go ahead and drop out Rosie Cotton. She will help us, hopefully in the long run. Right now, she'll be able to add her 2 willpower, which is good. And then I think I am going to drop a fast hitch. We can attach that to a Hobbit character. I'm going to put that onto Rosie. That way, she essentially can quest for us for 4. 2 giving to somebody else and 2 for herself. And that'll cost us 1 green. For our Ranger deck, let's go ahead and use all 4 of our resources here. Put on that Ancestral Armor. That's going to give us +2 defense. Now we're talking. We're a beast. We're in beast mode. Almost as good as Grimbeorn. Then we'll exhaust Steward of Gondor to gain 2 of those resources back. And I think I had one other thing. Yes, the Rivendell Blade. We'll drop that onto Legolas, spending Legolas's resource. We'll move into that quest phase. We're going to discard cards until we find an enemy, and we're going to add it to the staging area. We don't have any enemies, so whatever we add is going to be placed there. Okay, we have the Uruk Soldier. After the Uruk Soldier engages you, raise your threat by 2. Oof. We do need to remember, thanks to our active location, he'll come in with 1 damage. Thank goodness, he's a 5. Oh. So we have a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 threat in the staging area. We're going to go ahead and exhaust Rosie and add her willpower over to Sam. So Sam now is a 3, 4, a 6 in total. Then we will use Fast Hitch to ready her. Now let's go ahead and quest. We'll quest for 2, 3, 4. Give this to Eller here. 5, 6. I mean, it'd be great to not have to bring him and then use his ability. I think we got to wait another round. Plus another 6 is 12. 13, 14, and then I think we're going to do Eladin for 16. So 16 to 8. Let's draw our 2 cards, and we have a Wounded Uruk. Yeah, we could have reduced our threat by 2 right there. He's going to come in with 2 points of damage on him at least. 1, 2. And we'll put him in the staging area. And then we have Doomed One and Surged. My goodness, we're going to go back up to 40 threat and 35 for our Hobbit deck. No enemies are engaged with us, so that will surge into a Winding Stairs. While it's the active location, we don't have to worry about that. It's not the active location. Our total threat in the staging area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We quested for 16, so that's 4 progress. We'll place 2 on this location, so it's gone, and then 2 more will go on to the tower, our quest card. We need 16 more. During the travel phase, we have a total of 4 locations in the staging area. We can't travel here because we'd have to each be able to exhaust a character. Our Hobbit deck can't exhaust anyone. So I think we've got to do a Torchlight. After the players travel to the torchlit hall, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. So let's go ahead and see what enemy. We're going to get a Saga Archer. Of course, there's no Saga Archer out there. We're going to put that out. That's going to come out with 2 more archery too. So we're going to have to soak archery. We have 3 enemies out in the staging area. And now comes the question. I could sneak Gandalf in during the encounter phase and kill off like the Saga Archer. But then I don't get to use him for attacking and defending. So it's not worth the 2. We'll just take the 2 points of damage, I think. So I think we're going to leave the Saga Archer because its total threat is 47. Nobody's at that, but both of these I think we have to engage. We're going to have the Hobbit deck optionally engage this Uruk Soldier, and by doing that, it's going to increase their threat to 37, and that will ready Sam, because still that threat is higher. I need to find a way to lower their threat. And then we'll go ahead and have our Ranger deck engage the Wounded Orc. To start that combat phase, we'll go ahead and deal 2 points of damage to Eladin. So Eladin will have 2 points of damage for this Saga Archer. But then we're going to spend 1 resource from Elrahir. Well, he only has 2, but I still think it's worth it. Use our sneak attack. We're going to sneak in the other Gandalf we have and just kill this guy from the staging area. We'll go ahead and grab shadow cards, 1 for the soldier and 1 for the Wounded Uruk over here. So this soldier is going to attack. We're going to defend with Elrahir over here. Elrahir will then spend his 1 remaining resource to ready. So he's ready to defend. His defense is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're getting attacked for 5. And we have exhaust a character you control. Well, there's only Sam over here. So let's go ahead and exhaust Sam. And 5 to our 6, we're good. We then will get attacked from this Wounded Uruk. We'll defend for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's attacking for 3. Shoot, what's this thing? Attacking enemy gets +1, so that's 4. If this attack destroys a character, no, it doesn't. 4, we're good to go. We're at 6. Then we can go ahead and attack. So his defense is 2. We can then use Gandalf to attack for 4, 2 for the defense, 2 to kill him. Then we can use Legolas as a ranged character, and he can attack with -2 armor on that Uruk over there. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have Sam be able to help us, but since Sam was exhausted, we're only going to be able to do 3 points of damage, because we're attacking for 3, -2 armor, but he's got 5 health, so he has 4 points of damage. He's still sitting around. Let's go ahead then and increase threats. We'll go to 41 and 38. I don't know, this might not work, you guys. We've got our Foe Hammer, and we have our Brace of Conies. This will definitely help. Although our first player is our Ranger deck, we can still do actions during the planning phase. So I'm going to go ahead and have my Hobbit deck play our Brace of Conies. We can add Brace of Conies to the victory display to choose 2. Heal up to 2 damage from a hero? Nah. Add 2 resources to a hero's resource pool? Yeah. We're going to do that for Sam. Sam is going to generate 2 beautiful resources. You're going to see why I wanted to do that in a second. Let a player draw 2 cards or reduce a player set by 2. We're definitely going to let the Ranger deck draw 2 cards, and they get a Rivendell Bow and a Secret Vigil. Oh, this is actually pretty good. This will get put into the victory display then. First thing we're going to do is we're going to drop a Rivendell Bow on to Legolas. That's going to cost us 1 resource. He'll get +1 attack since he's already ranged. So he's now 4 attack, -2 armor. Next, we're going to go ahead and spend 1 resource to drop out our Secret Vigil. We're going to put that on the enemy that's engaged with our Hobbit deck, just because when we do kill him, we can reduce each of our threats by 3. And then finally, we'll go ahead and exhaust our Steward of Gondor, so we have 3 purple resources. Now for over here, let's have a little bit of fun, shall we? Let's go ahead and make Rosie a hero. We're going to spend 4 resources, 1, 2, 3, 4, to do that. And now she'll be considered a leadership hero and generate leadership resources each round. Beautiful. That means we can go ahead and drop Song of Hope on her, and that's not going to be a problem because she is a hero. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm also going to drop Fireside Song on her. Attached to a Hobbit hero, limit 1 per hero. She gets +1 for each song that's attached. That did cost us these 2 blue resources to do that. And then finally, let's go ahead and put our Song of Wisdom out on her. So she will now be considered a green resource, but will give us another +1 willpower. She will now be able to quest for a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add 5 questing to Sam. So when Sam quests, he'll quest for 9. Yeah, this is what we needed for the questing part. And you know what I'm realizing, you guys? I have not increased my threat for at least 2 or 3 rounds since Sam is holding that heavy burden. So I'm going to go ahead and move them up by 3. I think it's been 3 rounds. So we're going to go to 41, and we're going to go to 41, 42, 43, 44. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we need to get Gandalf out again to reduce our threat. If I'm off by the number of rounds, sorry about that. So let's discard cards until we find an enemy. And holy moly. Okay, here we go. And another archery 2 enemy, of course. In the staging area, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threat in the staging area. We'll quest over here for 2, giving this to Elra here. Then we will exhaust Rosie. Let's add her willpower to Mary this time, just because, and then exhaust her to quest. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for putting in Mary. Then we got 15, 16, 17, 18 for Sam. 2 more is 20 from Pippin. And then let's go ahead and send Eladin for 22. We'll reveal our first card, and we have the Echoing Passage. It gets +1 threat for each enemy in the staging area. So right now that's 1. And then we have the Torchlit Hall. So we've seen that. That will just add 2. So we just added 4 threat to the staging area. We have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 to 22. That means we placed 11 progress. We'll place 3 on here, so that means we place 8 on here. We now only need 10 more progress on our quest card. Looking at our options, besides the topmost chamber, let's go ahead and move to the Echoing Hall. I know it's going to give their Echoing Passage. It's going to give +2 armor, but I don't know what else I don't want to deal with another enemy, and I can't exhaust characters. I need more characters over here on the Ranger deck side. We only have 1 enemy in the staging area. Now, my threat might be wrong, but it should be at least close. We're at 44. He's at 44, but we get to add 4 to that now because we have Rosie. So he's a 48 for engagement. Let's leave him out there. Instead, we're going to soak during the beginning of combat 2 of his archery. We'll put 1 on Arwen and 1 on Elra here. We'll now go ahead and defend. He's attacking for 5. Golly. And we have Elra here to defend. He will not spend a resource because I'm not going to be able to attack with him. So he's not going to ready. His defense is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to a 5. And we get no shadow effect. And then we'll use Legolas. Legolas attacks for 3 minus the 2 armor, but he has +2 armor. So he'll still have the 2 armor left. But, oh yeah, actually we're attacking for 4 because we have that +1 attack. So we're attacking for 4, 2 armor, 2 remaining. We just killed him. That's going to allow us to reduce both of our threats by 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go down to 38 for our Hobbit deck. And we're going to go down to 41. Yeah, 41 for our Ranger deck. I need to remember I defeated an enemy, so I'll go ahead and exhaust one of my weapons to use Foe Hammer. That's going to allow us to draw 3 cards on our Ranger deck side. So we're going to get a War Axe, we're going to get the Heir of Mardil, and we're going to get Elven Mail. Okay, then we're going to increase threats. We're going to go to 42, and we're going to go to, what, 38? No, 39 over here. Let's draw cards. We have our Greenwood Archer and another Test of Will. One more thing. Legolas killed an enemy. Don't forget that, Colin. 2 progress on the active location. For this round, based on the cards that we have, I don't have enough resources to do anything. I can put out this red book next round once we get 2 more spirit or leadership resources. On our Ranger side, different story. We're going to go ahead and exhaust the Steward of Gondor to generate 2 more resources. Look at all of these leadership resources. I'm going to put the Heir of Mardil out onto Elra here. I'm going to drop the War Axe here, spending this 1 resource. That's going to give Legolas +2 more attack because he has 2 restricted attachments. So now he's a 6 attack minus 2 armor. Yeah, slowly but surely we are building this up. We'll spend 2 resources from Eladin to give +2 hit points and Sentinel to Elra here with our Elven Mail. And I think, yeah, let's do it. We're going to spend 2 resources to put out the Greenwood Archer as well for some range attack. Here we go. We'll move into that quest phase. We only have 3 cards left in the encounter deck. We have a Saga Archer, which is awesome. We have a Saga Archer in the staging area. They're going to take each other out. Finally, some good news from this deck. The tides have turned and hope yet remains. I was really thinking I was just going to have to restart this one. Arwen, 2. We're adding that defense to Elra here. Then we'll go ahead and exhaust Rosie Cotton. Oh, you know what? And I don't think... I'm going to exhaust Sam so that we don't have to increase our threat. So we're going to lose out on 4. But with Rosie adding 2, 3, 4, 5 to Mary and then sending 5 herself, I think it's worth it. So we've got 5 for her, 6, 7, plus another 7. So that's 14, 15, 16. And then 2 more from Eladin. That's 18. Oh, maybe that's not enough. You know what? We're just going to do it. We're going to leave 18. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threat in the staging area. Let's see what we get. We start off with, when revealed, the first player must choose. Either exhaust the 1 ring and reveal an encounter card, or discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and put it into play engage with you. No. Can I just say no? I'm just going to say no because I have a test of will and I have Mary. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Mary. We'll cancel that. This one is for our Ranger deck, and we just have a Wounded Uruk. He'll just come in with 2 points of damage on him. We quested for 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. 9 progress gets to be placed. We'll place 3 on here, and that means we get to place 6 more on the quest card. That means we have 14 out of the 18 quest points that we need. Just letting you know that at this point, I actually deleted the rest of my recording because I had decided that I could go to the topmost chamber, but I can't until we have 18 progress on 2B. So it totally messed everything up, so I have recreated as best as I can. The only thing I'm not 100% certain is what was in the Ranger's deck's hand. I'm pretty sure it was just these 2 cards. But yeah, I've tried to recreate everything. And we're going to try and finish this quest, okay? So we're going to move into that travel phase. We have these 3 locations that we could travel to. I'm thinking let's go ahead and do a torchlit haul. It is going to mean we have totally emptied out our encounter deck. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this bad boy back up. And we're going to discard cards until we see an enemy. Let's see what we get for an enemy. Okay, we get a Mordor Orc. That will go into the staging area. During the encounter phase, we'll then have our Ranger deck optionally engage the Wounded Uruk. Now we need to remember he's going to have +2 attack now for this combat because he just engaged. Then moving into mandatory engagement, this Orc of Mordor will have to engage the Hobbit deck, who's our first player. Now it tells you to exhaust a character you control. All of their characters are exhausted, so they won't have to exhaust anything. We'll hand out shadow cards, 1 to our Orc of Mordor and 1 to our Wounded Uruk. So our Orc of Mordor will go ahead and attack our Hobbit deck. We will use Elra here, so we'll exhaust him and then spend 1 of his resources to ready him. So he is defending for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +1, which is 6, thanks to Arwen. So 6 to the 3 attack here, and we get attacking enemy gets +1, +2 instead of this defending character is damaged. No, Elra here is not damaged. Hopefully I have that right. I don't think he was damaged. Hopefully not. So yeah, he only attacks for 3 or 4. We're good to go. This Wounded Uruk will now attack for 5, but we have 6 defense. We will exhaust to defend, but spend a resource to immediately ready him. He gets no shadow effect. Beautiful. So why I wanted to ready him is because now I can have Elra here and the Greenwood Archer. They can attack for 4, 2 to go through the armor, 2 to kill this guy. This guy's toast. Then we can have Legolas attack that Orc over there, giving him -2 shield, attacking him for 6. He's going to be gone, and that's going to place 2 progress on the active location. 2 out of the 3 that we need. We'll move to that end of round. Our Hobbit deck will move to 40 threat, and our Ranger deck will move to 43 threat. Oh, we are going to run out of time. We're going to run out of time. We have a Black Arrow, and we have Arwen. Looking at our Ranger's hand this round, I think the only thing we're going to do is drop the Black Arrow, which will give a 1-time +5 attack for Legolas. Yeah, because he's our ranged enemy, or sorry, a ranged hero, and he can use that on an enemy at some point. On our Hobbit side, the first thing we're going to do is play our Red Book of Wisdom. We're going to spend 2 of Sam's and 1 of Rosie's. Now, this attached to a Hobbit hero restricted. We'll go ahead and attach that to Rosie. While the attached hero is committed to the quest, each Hobbit character gets +1 willpower. After you quest successfully, exhaust the Red Book of Westmarch to add 1 resource to the attached hero's resource pool. Pretty awesome. We'll then spend 2 green resources to put out our Master of the Forge. Now, our Master of the Forge, what we can do with him is exhaust him, and then we can look at the top 5 cards of our deck for an attachment and put it into our hand. So we'll do that, and we have a fast hitch. Is she considered? Yes, she is considered a wisdom, so a green resource. Let's go ahead and grab that fast hitch. We'll shuffle our deck, and we'll put this fast hitch down onto Rosie. And I'm realizing I forgot to take these off, you guys. Sorry about that. None of these guys are exhausted except for the Master of the Forge. We did have to use her resource for that, so we only have 1 blue resource left. We'll then go ahead and exhaust Sam to take care of our heavy burden. We'll discard cards until we find an enemy. Oh, we have another Orc of Mordor. That will be out in the staging area. Now let's go ahead and quest. We have a total of 6 threat in the staging area. So I'm going to go ahead and exhaust Rosie, add her willpower to Mary. We will unexhaust her with our fast hitch. Now, if we quest with her, all hobbits get +1 willpower. So she's questing for 2, 3, 4, 5, +1 is 6. Then she's giving her willpower to Mary. So that's 5, because she had to give that before she started questing, I believe. So 5, 6, 7 +1 is 8. So 6 + 8 is 14, just for the 2 of these guys. And then 15, 16, 17. And then we'll do Arwen for 19. And then I think 19 is good. We're also giving Arwen's +1 shield, of course, to Elra here. I always assume we're doing that. As long as we quest successfully, Rosie will also be able to generate a resource. So we'll draw our first one. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each enemy in the staging area. That's just this Orc of Mordor. Until the end of the phase, each enemy gets +1 threat for each damage on it. Okay, that's only 1. That's not bad. If there's no enemies in the staging area, gain Surge. No, we have 1. And then what do we have for this one? We have our Echoing Passage. Yes, and that's going to be +1 threat, so it's considered 2 threat. We quested for 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. 10 progress. That should work. We'll place 1 here and 9 here. That 9 should get us to 18. Because we now have 18 progress on this quest card, we can travel to the topmost chamber. We're going to climb up that ladder, and guess what we find? Shagrat. So Shagrat cannot have non-boon attachments. So technically he has these boons over here, but I'm not going to even worry about attaching them to him because I have to move them around. So just know that the boons are attached to him. Allies cannot attack or defend against Shagrat. Forced, after progress is placed on the quest, Shagrat gets -X engagement cost until the end of the round, where X is the amount of progress that's been placed. During the encounter phase, we are going to have the Hobbit deck optionally engage Shagrat. And right now, his engagement cost is 46 still, plus the force. Actually, it's a 50. So when we engage him, we'll be able to ready Sam, who will get a +1/+1. And something that I have been forgetting, Pippin gets to draw a card for doing that, and he gets the Shire Folk. Oh, this can help with our threat. That's nice. Then our Ranger deck will go ahead and take the Orc of Mordor. Moving into that combat phase, we'll go ahead and grab shadow cards, 1 for our Orc of Mordor and 1 for Shagrat. We'll then exhaust Elra here to defend, and he's attacking for 3. We have attacking enemy gets +1 attack, +2 if the defending character is damaged. He's not damaged. He's attacking for 4. We have no problem. Then what we'll do is we will exhaust our Heir of Mardil, because we're going to also use our Steward of Gondor to gain 2 more resources. And that will allow us to ready Elra here without having to spend any resources. Love it. Then we have Shagrat over here, and we'll go ahead and exhaust Elra here to defend. We are not going to spend a resource. You know what? We are. Just in case. I've got enough. We'll spend a resource to ready him, just in case something happens. He's attacking for 5, and we have attacking enemy gets +1, so that's 6. It would be +2 if he's damaged, but he's not. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 defense, no damage. Great. So then over here, Eladin and the Greenwood Archer each will attack for 2, 3, +2 is 5 to take out the Orc of Mordor, no problem. And then Legolas is going to help Sam over there. Legolas is attacking for 6, and he's going to negate 2 of the armor of Shagrat. His attack of 6 minus the 2 armor is doing 4 points of damage. So all we need to do with Sam is 2 more. He has 1 here, plus the 1 from his sting, plus 1 because he readied because Shagrat came engaged him. So those 2 together can kill Shagrat. Love it. And then we get our boons back into our hand. Let's end the round by increasing threat. 41 for our Hobbit deck and 44 for our Ranger deck. Yes, 6 threat away from being eliminated. We'll draw our cards during the resource phase. We have the Marksman of Lorien, and we have a Song of Travel. I think the first thing we're going to do is drop this Song of Travel on to Rosie. And notice that she does have 2 resources. The reason for that is because she was able to, or we were able to quest successfully. So I'll grab one of Sam's resources for that. And then that's going to give her another +1 willpower, because it's another song. That's awesome. Then we're going to play for free Shire Folk. Play only if your heroes are all hobbits. Reduce your threat by 4. Love it. So we'll go from 41 to 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 30, 37. Then we'll exhaust our Master of the Forge. Let's draw our top 5 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take a look at them and grab an attachment. We have either a Song of Travel or an Unexpected Courage. Yeah, I have an idea. So I'm going to spend 2 on Merry and put this Unexpected Courage on Legolas. On this side, I think the only thing we're going to do right now is drop a Marksman of Lorien. That's going to spend 3 out of our 4 tactics resources. To start that quest phase, we'll discard cards until an enemy shows up. We get a Wounded Uruk. There's no enemies out, so he's just going to be out there with 2 damage on him. Our staging area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 threat. We'll go ahead and use Rosie Cotton to add her 6 willpower to Merry, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, perfect. Then use her fast hitch to ready. Then what we'll do is we'll quest out over here. We've got 2 plus her 6, so that's 8, plus 9, 10, plus 6 more, so that's 16. Oh yeah, we're going to exhaust Sam, so we're at 16, and then 17, 18. Then each of the hobbits get +1, 19, 20, 21 total, 21 to 8. As long as we quest successfully here, we will have Rosie generate a resource. So our first card, and this is for our Ranger deck, we just get another Torchlit Hall. I hate those halls. And then we get an Uruk Soldier. Our total threat in the staging area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to our 21. That will be more than enough to progress through the topmost chamber. So we can remove this as a victory, and we gain Frodo. When we gain Frodo, we need to remember that he will now gain the heavy burden because he takes that ring back from Sam. We have Escape from Cirith Ungol. When revealed, add Last of the Company to the victory display, attach the 1 ring to the ring bearer, and exhaust the ring bearer. Oh yeah, I need to exhaust him. The first player moves the 2 watchers from the victory display to the staging area location side up. Each other player reveals an encounter card. I love how thematic this is. We have run into this area, saved Frodo, and now we're running out of the same location. But now, instead of only being 3 threat, it's 6 threat. Or actually, I think it was only 2 threat before. Now it's 6. And we have to reveal an encounter card, and we have another Wounded Uruk. I hate those Wounded Uruks. So they'll get 2 damage on him at least, but he'll go into the staging area. The players cannot travel to the 2 watchers unless there's at least 12 progress on this stage. While the 2 watchers is in the staging area, enemy side face up, it gets +3 threat and +3 shield and is considered to be engaged with each player. This stage cannot be defeated while the 2 watchers is in play. If this stage is defeated, we win the game. So we need to get 12 progress, then travel to that location, which will turn it into an enemy, then have it attack us, and then we attack it back and defeat it, and we win the game. That's it. We can do that, and we're only at, 44 threat. Of the locations in the staging area, I think the one we're going to go to for travel is the Echoing Passage, but that means these enemies will have +2 shield. Moving into that encounter phase, we're going to go ahead and have our Hobbit deck optionally engage this Wandering Uruk. That will ready Sam, and then we get to draw a card because of that, and we have Frodo's Intuition, and then for our Ranger deck, they will optionally engage, well, it doesn't even matter. We'll optionally engage this one, and then this one will mandatorily engage us. Having the Uruk soldier engage us, though, means we'll go up to 46 threat. We'll go ahead and move to the combat phase. 2 shadow cards over here, 1 over there. We'll go ahead and exhaust Elra here for our first attack. This is attacking for 5, and we get the attacking enemy gets +1. If this destroys a character, it doesn't. He's attacking for 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We laugh at him. Then we use our Steward of Gondor to generate 2 resources, and that means we can exhaust the Heir of Mardil to ready Elra here. Perfect. So that was the attack of 5. This Uruk here will be attacking us for +2 because it engaged us this round. So it's also attacking us for 5. We'll spend the 1 resource to ready after we exhaust Elra here. And we have no shadow effect. We're good here. Finally, we're going to have the Wounded Uruk attack over on this side, but Elra here will spend the 1 resource to ready and defend. So he's defending for 6. And we have the defending player raises their threat by 3. So the defending player is the Hobbit deck. That's actually really good. Otherwise, I think we would have just lost. So we'll go to 40 threat over here. Now let's go ahead and attack some stuff. We need a total of 6 damage to take this guy out because he has 4 shield. We can do that with Eladin and with our Marksman of Lorien. So 3 and 3. That's 6. That will take him out. Then what we can do is add our Greenwood Archer here and Legolas. And Legolas is attacking for 6, minusing the 2 armor, so we still have the 2 here, plus the 5, so we actually need 7, but with the Greenwood Archer, that will be enough to take him out. That will then allow us to place 2 progress on the active location. We will then use our Unexpected Courage to ready Legolas. Legolas then has 6 damage that he can throw over on the other side. Taking that 6 damage plus the 3 from Sam, that's 9. He will only have 2 armor. He's also toast, and that's going to place another 2 progress on the active location. Yes, we've got 4 out of the 5 progress that we need for the, the Echoing Passage. And I know I said it, but I forgot to do it. I'm going to give 1 more resource to Rosie because we quested successfully, and that's because of the Red Book. So let's increase threats. We'll go to 41 for the Hobbit deck and 47 for the Ranger deck. Oh my gosh. Let's draw cards. We have the Vassal of the Windlord and a Song of Kings. The first thing I think we'll do this round is we're going to use our Master of the Forge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab our 5 cards. Let's see. We can grab an attachment. Oh, Fireside Song. Wow, do we have 2 blue? She's actually not considered a blue resource. What am I saying? She is considered a blue resource. Boom. Yeah. We're going to grab our Fireside Song. Not a question. We'll spend 2 of her resources. We'll put that down on Pippin. That at least will give us another willpower, which I like. And then we'll spend another 1 of her resources to gain another questing for her, another song. Let's add +1 willpower here. Yeah, I mean, we just want to try and blow through this as much as we can. I think that's all we can do on this side. For our Ranger deck, we're going to go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources, and we're going to put out Gandalf. And we're going to reduce our threat by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're down to 42. That's going to just give us a little bit of a breather. And yeah, I think that's all we're going to do this round. Our staging area is full of just locations right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total threat. Because we decreased our threat for our Ranger deck, we're going to ask Frodo to continue pushing on for us. So we're going to increase our threats each by 1, so 43 and 42 respectively, but then that way we can quest with him. That's especially important because we can use Rosie here. So she'll exhaust to add her questing, let's say to Sam, and that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So she's going to add 7 to his 4, so he's at an 11. We'll then use our Fast Hitch to ready her. So then we're going to quest for 11, 12, 13, plus 7, so that's 20, 22, giving that +1 defense to Elra here, 24, then we'll do 25, 26, 27, and then all hobbits get +1, so 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, so we'll do 32 total progress there, and then I think we're going to add, we'll add Eladin for sure, so that's 34, Should I leave Gandalf? No, we're going to send him 2. So we'll add him for 38. 38 to 12. Oh boy. Let's draw our first one. We have, the Orcish Howls, but there's no enemies in the staging area, so that gains Surge. Oh, now we get an Orc, so it's going to add 3. And then we get the Winding Stairs, that's going to add 5. Let's count it up, you guys. We have 38 minus 6 is 32. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. So we placed 21 progress. That definitely will be good enough. We'll place 1 here and 20 here, or 12. So now we can travel and find that enemy. Since we're going to travel to the 2 Watchers, I'll just go ahead and flip it, and now it's considered engaged with both of us. Then what we'll do is we'll have the Hobbit deck engage the Uruk Soldier. We'll grab our 2 shadow cards to start us off. Let's go ahead and start off with the fun one, the 2 Watchers. He doesn't get any plus additional attack, right? No, it's just plus 3 defense and additional threat. So he's attacking for 5. We'll go ahead and exhaust Elra here. He has 3 resources, by the way, and 6 defense. He's getting attacked for 5. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this one. Okay, so we'll grab a shadow card for that. We will then exhaust Steward of Gondor to generate 2 resources. So now he has 5 resources, and he'll exhaust the Heir of Mardil to ready himself. So now he'll exhaust to defend and spend 1 resource to ready. So he can ready 4 more times after this. And we have, if you are engaged with another enemy, resolve this attack against that enemy. So he's attacking for 5. That's going to deal 3 damage to this Uruk Soldier. Oh, and I forgot, this Uruk Soldier, we're going to have to increase the Hobbit's threat by 2. They're at 44. They're actually higher than the Ranger deck. Now we'll have the Uruk Soldier attack. We'll spend 1 of the 4 resources that we have on Elra here so he can defend and be ready. And he's attacking for 5. No shadow effect, no problem. Finally, the 2 Watchers will attack our Ranger deck. We will exhaust Elra here and then spend a resource to ready him. Don't be bad. Oh, beautiful. Nothing. Attack for 5, no problem. Now let's kill this son of a gun. So we have 6 attack over here with Legolas, but we are going to use our Black Arrow. We're going to add plus 5 to his attack. So he's attacking for 11. Then we're going to add 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. He has 5 armor, 4 health. That's only 9. Took him out. Done. We safely traversed out of Cirith Ungol. Based on what I'm seeing here, we have a total of 17 victory points for this scenario. This one, definitely not one of my favorites. It's a fun one. It's interesting. There's a lot of things to track, and I really failed to do that, and so I had to replay that second section. Still a lot of fun, though. I enjoyed the decks, but I'm really excited for the final 2 quests. We're going to do them as an epic campaign. I have some ideas. I'm hoping it's going to work. I've got to build a little bit of a different deck to see if it works, but I hope you'll join me. Let's dunk that ring. I'll catch you at the next stop.